Hey, I'm doing my speech on pollution, and my purpose is to persuade my audience to help stop pollution. My thesis is pollution is a huge problem in the world we live in. If we do nothing to stop it, we may not have a world to live in. But attention getter, the damage we're doing to the earth just by carelessly throwing away our garbage isn't something we should take lightly, because pretty soon we may not have a world to live in from overpollution. Reason to listen: planet's in bad enough shape already from pollution, and the mistakes that we're making, being careless with our garbage, there is something we can do about it. So when we dump things like motor oil and gasoline into the ground or into the garbage, what we're doing is polluting. Uh, these things seep back into the ground, get into the water. We have ground pollution and water pollution from these things. Pesticides and fertilizers from agricultural runoff is also a problem for water pollution. These pollutants end up in rivers and streams and lakes and can make it back to the ocean, causing problems there too. Just by driving our vehicles, we're polluting the air that we breathe every day from burning fossil fuels. Also, the trash that ends up in landfills, these can also end up being also water pollutions due to runoff from rains and storms getting swept out into lakes and rivers and streams again and making its way back to the ocean. So, now that I've discussed how we're polluting the planet, I will talk about the effects of our pollution. Agricultural runoff, pesticides, and fertilizers, these pollutants are swept into the oceans, rivers, and streams. They cause reproductive harm, and the animals that live in the waters, all the aquatic life, the fish that we eat, can cause reproductive problems, genetic mutations in these animals, and also the water that we drink. It can water we drink, groundwater reservoirs. This can then cause problems for us. It can cause nervous system problems, irreversible problems. Water pollution can also hurt endangered animals, ocean animals. They get caught up in a piece of trash that's floating around from a carelessly discarded soda can wrapper, or inside of a soda can. Animals can get caught up in them. Also, for air pollution, these can cause health problems too. Also, nervous system problems, asthma. These problems can last you the rest of your life and can be potentially life-threatening just from driving your car or burning things that shouldn't be burned, like plastics. Causes air pollution. So now that I've talked about the effects of air pollution or pollution, I'll now talk about what we can do to fix the problem. First things first, if everyone would get a recycling bin and recycle their plastics, their aluminum, that would greatly help the problem and reduce the pollution that is ending up in landfills. Also, another thing we can do is the engine oils from our vehicles, recycle them. Take them to places like AutoZone, Advance. They recycle there. And in certain states, certain AutoZones, they'll actually pay you to bring your used motor oil in and recycle it. So put more money in your pocket. Instead of throwing it out or pouring it onto the ground, make yourself some money. Also, when you're using fertilizers, pesticides, things like that, use the minimum amount as possible, because the excess is going to end up turning into runoff and finding its way into rivers and streams, and now you have water pollution and ground pollution. Another thing to take in mind, when you're washing your vehicles. Washing them on sidewalks and in your driveway, the concrete, the water and everything's going to roll off and roll into the sewer systems, causing water pollution. Washing your vehicle in the grass is going to help, because the grass will actually absorb some of the pollutants. So not all of it's going to end up being runoff. Some of it will be absorbed by your lawn. So also, with your food waste, excess food waste, you can make compost piles, consisting of, like, you throw your lettuce or your meats and stuff into a compost pile. Worms will eat it and cause compost, which is great for planting. You can plant a garden there, a flower bed, anything you want at that point. So these are things to take into consideration, things that we can do to help stop pollution. Easy things that can even put money into your pocket, like recycling the motor oils. So in conclusion, today I discussed how we are polluting the planet. I then discussed how pollution is affecting the planet. And finally, I discussed what we can do to stop pollution. Pollution is a huge problem in the world, and if we don't do anything to stop it, we soon may not have a world to live in. In closure, the world may not seem to be in bad shape right now, but it's getting to be a problem. And although we may not think that we're hurting the planet, it's really getting there. So we may not think about it, but think about this: if we don't stop the problem now, we're going to leave the problem for our children to face. So every time you're drinking a bottle of water or a can of soda, just remember, before you decide to throw it in the trash when you're done, find a recycling bin.